When I first got involved, I wasn't any more aware of FASDs than your average person. So I was familiar with Fetal Alcohol Syndrome, and I didn't think of it as something that was an invisible disorder. I didn't recognize the prevalence of the disorder, and I wasn't really aware that it's a disorder that also affects adults. Well, I think that our best tool to address fetal alcohol spectrum disorders is awareness and education. So if a woman is contemplating pregnancy or is pregnant, I think that she'll make the best choices for her if she's aware of the risks of alcohol in pregnancy. And there, I think the number one thing we want to be aware of is that alcohol is a teratogen. And a lot of us aren't familiar with that word, but I think of it as a poison that causes birth defects, that it often targets primarily the baby's brain. And so this is why FASDs are so often an invisible disorder. We can't see the baby's brain and how it's affected. So without causing alarm or causing blame to women who may be interested in drinking in their pregnancy, I think awareness is the number one tool. I don't think we want to get to a point where we're grabbing women's wine glasses or bottles out of their hands to help them learn that using alcohol in pregnancy isn't necessarily the best choice. One of the things that I focused on with the Southeastern Training Center is addressing correctional populations, especially health providers who work with people in juvenile justice or jails and prisons. If we were more aware of the brain injuries that cause aberrant behaviors or unlawful behaviors, I don't think we would want to see those people in the courtroom, and we'd be more open to diverting them to more supportive resources. Working with correctional health providers, I've just found a real receptiveness to how often the behaviors that they see, even in their inmates, are likely to be, in many cases, caused by alcohol use prenatally. You can imagine that, especially for biological mothers, there often is a sense of guilt or shame regarding the fact that their behavior had an impact on the health outcome of their child. And that can be really hard. For those women, we want to be supportive and open our arms to them. And I've seen so many women, including the FASD Birth Mothers Network that NOFAS has initiated. That is an area where I think we really can learn a lot, and that's one of the areas that I think we're going to really see some change, because we can't just blame and shame if people come forth and help us understand. And boy, we really need a lot more understanding and awareness when it comes both to people affected with an FASD and to women and parents, including adoptive parents, who are trying to do their best for their families. So the families who have come and shown their faces, the women with alcohol use disorders who have stood up tall and proud to help us understand what's going on, I think are I think they're the most powerful tool that we have to understanding and preventing FASDs.